Hey everyone. So I have some breaking news for you. Are you ready? Kids do not keep you poor. I know that sounds like blasphemy coming from a person who does not have children. But I want you to know right now, kids do not keep you poor. You know what's so funny? I know a lot of people who have children. I have family members that have children. I grew up, I was a child once, right? And there's so many ways to raise children, you know. And the one thing that someone will always say is, I want my child to have a life that I never had. As if their life was just so horrible. And that's just so funny to me because, um, they always say, I want my child to have a life that I never had. And and I start to think, what life did you have? Because the life that I had holes in my shoes, and when it rained, my socks were soaking wet. But the life that you had, you probably had new sneakers every 2 to 3 months. You probably got tax returns from your parents during tax season. Like I didn't even know what that was. So, with that being said, there's a lot of wants in this world, and to be fair, some of you don't have the ability to be giving the wants to your children. You just don't. I grew up in a hand me down culture, whereas some people may feel like their child deserves the newest this, and that. There's already a disconnect there. The people who are getting the hand me downs are typically the people who are winning financially, and the people who are giving the Jordans are just showing that they're winning, but not really. They're not really doing that. They're not really winning. The kids that always got money for food, and the kids who eat the free lunch at school, right? They look like they're winning, but they're not really. They're not really winning. The kid learns, I don't really need money. So when they grow up, they value it differently. This kid learns, I have it, I spend it, because they don't know what to do with it. So it just goes out the door, and it goes out your pocket too, because you're giving it to them. So now when they don't get the $5 for their lunch, they're like, Dad, Mom, where's my money? Right? They're entitled. They deserve it. So, a lot of people don't understand that when you give a child stuff that they don't actually need, it ends up being to their detriment. I've seen so many kids who now do drugs because they had nothing to spend their money on. So they hang out with the wrong crowd. But the kids who didn't have no money, guess what? They did no drugs. You know why? They didn't have money to be buying it. And nobody likes freeloaders. So that's one main reason that when I do have children, they won't have cash, because they can't do the things that people do when they have cash, especially when they're young. And I understand society because I grew up in New York around thousands and thousands of children. Certain people, when you give them things they don't need, there's nothing else to do with your free time than to do that. But when I had no cash, guess what? I was always home. I was ready to eat because I wasn't eating outside. So again, you got to take that to account. You have to understand, am I giving the wants to my children, or am I giving them their needs, or am I giving them both? And can I, as an individual, as a family, actually provide both while still ensuring my own financial freedom and not depending on my children for retirement? Because if your child is your retirement plan, then you're not doing enough. If your child is your retirement plan, you are not doing enough. That's the honest truth. With that being said, um, you have to look at things. The cost of education, the cost of food, Pampers. There's tax write-offs that people are getting these days, about $2,000 per kid. I mean, everybody will say children are expensive. You know, everybody will say that. But to be honest, the cost can be mitigated so drastically for a child. So drastically. You understand? There's so many things that we can do as a society in order to ensure that that we raise decent human beings without again um, falling to the wayside, without giving them the things that they don't need to survive. You know, the most expensive thing for a child really is the diapers. Outside of that, when they get old enough to start wanting the biggest and nicest sneakers, it's a no. It's a no. You know why? Because it's not necessary. It won't change their life. It's not going to give them what they truly need. It's a want. And a lot of people don't really know how to decipher that. Children are happy without the newest Jordans, without the newest video games, and without the extra $5 for food that they don't need to be buying outside. They have food, they should eat it. If they have a choice, they will take it. I've seen kids literally not eat the free lunch that they're given because they know that they have money, so they'll eat outside. They'll wait. It's disgusting. But the kids who know that, listen, I'm not going to eat until I get home, they make sure to eat because they value everything. And when you value everything, you also value the money that you have when you start to earn it. And because of that, I'm in the position that I am today. So don't take that lightly. A lot of people who don't value money is because they were always given it. They always had it. It was always in surplus. Even if it wasn't in surplus, they always had their wants met. Not their needs, their wants met. And because of that, they want to give their wants of the child to them as well. And even more. Because their parents did it, so why not me? Completely understand that. However, because of that, you will remain poor. You have to break bad habits and start to generate good habits that will lead you into financial prosperity. And you are capable of that. You are capable of that. The truth is, if you didn't have a kid, you still would spend the money. So now that you have the kid, you're just spending it on them. The truth is, you should learn to invest at least 10%. And it will be very, very difficult. It will be very, very hard. It's hard for someone without kids. But it is possible. It is possible. There are ways to cut costs. There are ways to improve your financial picture. And it all starts, honestly, with a budget. A budget that a lot of you will not make. A budget that a lot of you will not even think about. You don't know where your money is going every month. You don't know how much you even earn every month. So how can you be financially free? How can you do what you need to do in order to be on top? You can't, because you have no budget. You have no plan. You say you're going to save this much. You say you're going to invest this much, but you don't even know how much you make. You don't even know if that's truly a possibility. So again, don't blame your kids. Don't blame your kids for the reason you're not financially free. And again, that was a choice that you also decided to make. So own up to it. Don't be mad. Don't be upset at the person who decided to not leave a baby in somebody else. Right? These are the decisions that we make every single day consciously. So again, now that the child is there, all we can do is grow, learn, and move in a different way in order to make the best possible future for that child now that that child is there, and for yourself, so that you're not a burden on your child in your later years. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You know I post every single day on YouTube and Rumble, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.